With all of the Hunger Games hype, a lot of people have asked me to sort the characters from this series into their Hogwarts houses. I did this with a few other fandoms I talk about on this channel, and seeing as the new Hunger Games movie is coming out soon, I thought it was the perfect time to do this. If you enjoy this video, hit that like button, it will greatly help the channel with the algorithm. And if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, and you can also follow me on all of my socials, all of which are linked down below. Now, let's get into it.
Very good.
I guess I should start by breaking down the qualities of each house. We'll start with Gryffindor. They value bravery, daring, nerve, and chivalry. Moving on to Slytherin, they value ambition, leadership, self-preservation, cunning, and resourcefulness. For Ravenclaw, they value intelligence, knowledge, curiosity, creativity, and wit. And finally, Hufflepuff. They value hard work, dedication, patience, loyalty, and fair play. So now that we know what qualities each house represents, let's sort some Hunger Games characters. Katniss Everdeen. Like most lead characters, I think Katniss belongs in Gryffindor, but I will say I thought about putting her in Slytherin, but I think Gryffindor is the better fit. The whole series is about how brave she was to volunteer in place of her sister, then how brave she was to become a rebel, and even more, to become the face of the rebellion.
This is the revolution, and you are the Mockingjay.
And all of these actions could also check off two other Gryffindor traits, as she showed off a lot of nerve and daring. So to me, she should don the red and gold. Gale Hawthorne. I think Gale belongs in Slytherin. He showed off a ton of self-preservation at the end of the series, making sure that the war ended in their favor no matter what that took.
And that hovercraft wasn't filled with civilians.
Doesn't matter. Even if those civilians are just mopping floors, they're helping the enemy. If they have to die, I can live with that.
Gale also checks off the box for leadership, as he went on to become a leader in the rebellion, and he later became a leader in District 2 following the war. Peeta Mellark. Peeta is a Hufflepuff in my eyes. He is literally the perfect candidate for Hufflepuff, given the fact that he's incredibly loyal, especially to Katniss, even when she gives him every reason not to be loyal to her. He's also very patient, and I think this is actually one of the things I love most about his character. His patience in every situation, especially with Katniss and Haymitch, shines through in almost every scene in the first two books. Fair play can also be checked off, as he always wants to do the right thing and always believes in everyone being treated equally.
People are starving in 12. Here they're just throwing it out to stuff more in.
Then in the third book, he checks off the final two Hufflepuff traits of hard work and dedication, as only those two things could allow him to fight through his brainwashing, which he of course does. So yeah, Peeta checks off every single Hufflepuff trait. He's a clear choice to wear the yellow and black. Primrose Everdeen. I think Prim belongs in Ravenclaw. She proved to be incredibly intelligent, possibly even surpassing her mother when it came to medical treatment, which her mother spent her entire life training for. She also had to be incredibly creative in her work with medicine, as she was constantly put in situations that didn't have an obvious answer of how to treat it, both in District 13 and also out on the battlefield. Prim can also be very curious, another Ravenclaw trait, which we see most in her treatment and love for animals. So to me, Prim is a clear Ravenclaw. Haymitch Abernathy. Haymitch was a tough one, but I think he's a Slytherin. The main reason why I say this is because of his self-preservation, which, to be fair, was not always the case. He was forced into that lifestyle of me first because he lost so many people between his mother, sister, girlfriend, and too many tributes that he trained to count. But I think this adds up, because if we're looking at Haymitch during the three books, I think his self-preservation pushes him to be a Slytherin. And adding to that, he did have Slytherin traits before all of the tragedy and loss he sustained, as his cunning and resourcefulness allowed him to not only survive in the arena with double the amount of tributes because he was in the second quarter quell, but it also allowed him to find a loophole with the force field around the arena, which won him his games. Effie Trinket. I think Effie is a Hufflepuff mainly because of her loyalty. Despite being a very kind and genuine person, her loyalty trait led her to be loyal to the very evil capital for many years. Then later, she shows even more loyalty to Katniss, Peeta, and Haymitch. On top of that, she had a lot of patience to deal with a drunk Haymitch for so many years, as they worked together years before the series even began. Effie also showed off her affinity for fair play, another Hufflepuff trait, as she left her loyalty for the capital behind to fight for what was right and help free the districts. Lucy Gray Baird. Yeah, I'm gonna throw a Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes character in, so I'm giving a spoiler warning. Skip to whatever time is on screen if you haven't read the book yet or don't want to hear about her character arc before seeing the movie. I'd put Lucy in Ravenclaw, but honestly, I thought about putting her in every single house. The reason I chose Ravenclaw though was because of her creativity with music, of course making many of the songs we hear Katniss sing during the original 3 books. She also showed off her intelligence and a bit more of her creativity as we saw her use both snakes and poison to her advantage both in the arena and during that final showdown with Snow. She's also incredibly witty, another Ravenclaw trait, which was one of the main reasons why the capital citizens fell in love with her during her interviews. So though it was a hard decision, I think Lucy Gray fits Ravenclaw the best. Coriolanus Snow. I feel like this one is obvious. Snow is a clear Slytherin. His ambition trait led him to rise up from a terrible situation of having no money after the Dark Days. Then his self-preservation cropped up as he literally poisoned people just so he could move up in the ranks, and when he became president, he checked off that leadership box as well. But most of all, his character shows off nothing but cunning and resourceful decisions, one after the other. So he checks off every single box for a Slytherin. He belongs in the green and silver. Cinna. I think Cinna is a Ravenclaw. I say this mainly because of his creativity trait, which shines through immensely with his costume design. His wardrobe design also shows off a lot of knowledge and also intelligence, knowing exactly what will make the crowd love Katniss and Peeta. Joanna Mason. I think Joanna belongs in Slytherin. She too shows off a lot of self-preservation, which granted is mostly due to her addiction to pain medicine and all of the tragedy that drove her to be that way, but nevertheless, she embodies these traits to the fullest. She also has a lot of cunning and resourcefulness, as she literally fooled everyone during her games. She acted as though she was weak, got herself a low score from the game makers, and then at the last second came out like the true fighter she is and slaughtered everyone to win. Finnick Odair. I would say that Finnick is a Gryffindor. He's one of the bravest characters in the series for so many reasons and in so many different situations. He's also incredibly daring and has a ton of nerve, which not only shows off his confident side at such a young age given that he was the youngest victor in history, but this is also on full effect while in the arena as he took many risks fighting with his trident that paid off in the end. And on top of that, I also think Finnick has a lot of chivalry as he fought for justice in the rebellion for those that were weak. Beetee Latier. I think Beetee is a Ravenclaw. He is for sure the most intelligent character in the series, a true genius on all fronts. This easily checks off the knowledge trait as well, and also the creativity trait with all of the weapons and gadgets he makes for the rebellion. His curiosity both in people like Wyrus and Katniss, and also his curiosity in his work is another Ravenclaw trait that we can check off for him as well. If he went to Hogwarts, I think Beetee would don the blue and bronze. Alma Coin. Coin, like Snow, is a clear choice for Slytherin. Given that she was president of District 13 and for a few moments the president of all of Panem, she clearly has leadership skills. Her self-preservation is also obvious, as she literally bombed a crowd of children just so she could discredit Snow and take his place. And a brilliant move like this that almost nobody caught on to shows how cunning and resourceful she is. She's a clear choice to don the green and silver. And there it is, Hunger Games characters sorted into Hogwarts houses. Let me know in the comments below what you think of my choices.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can follow me on Instagram to see more of my personal life, like my cute dog Loki, and some behind the scenes movie flame stuff. I also do similar content on TikTok and Twitter that I do here on this channel. So if you like what I do here, check them out. All the handles are right below me, and links are in the description. Over here are my wonderful patrons. If you want to be featured on the next video, plus get a few other perks, become a patron today. As always, if you liked the video, hit that like button and subscribe, and look out for more great movie flame videos on the way.